Hey YouTube, Sweetknives here. Check this out. We got one of our first knives that was sent in to the channel to be sharpened from one of the viewers just like you. This is from Griffin. Griffin, here's your Spyderco Delica. I am going to get this bad boy extremely sharp. So hang tight, watch the show, and I hope you enjoy. And for all those other folks out there that want a knife sharpened at no charge, shoot me an email, sweetknives2020@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up. All right, guys, here we go. So first things first, I drew a magic marker on the edge, and I'm just testing to see if that's the right angle. And we are at the right angle. That's about 17 degrees on each side. So I'm putting this at 17.2 degrees. I used the angle cube a minute ago, and that's what I verified it at. So we are sharpening at the right angle. This is 150 grit, and I'm just gonna try to get a burr. I gotta keep grinding until I get a burr. Sometimes the tips are difficult. I go for a little bit, and then I go to the next. I go to the next side, and I do that. We don't want to have uneven sides, so we'll just keep going on each side. Ooh, nice tip. Okay, let's see how we're doing. A little more. I'm going to grind a little bit more. In case folks are wondering, this is made out of VG10, which is actually a very good steel. Get it? VG. But really, it is. It is actually a good steel. For many years, VG10 was one of the best knife steels that money could buy. Need to get a burr, and I don't think I got one yet. Got it in some places, but not all. For those that are just starting out, I want to let you know that the first steps in knife sharpening, like when you're at the lowest grits, like this one is 150, and you're on a knife that has pretty hard steel, like what I would call a premium steel, it takes longer to get the burr. This is the longest part kind of the sharpening, because you're grinding off the most material, and it just takes a while to get to the right point that you want. So just letting you know, don't be discouraged if you don't feel a burr right away. It just means you have to keep going. You have to keep going longer. I don't know how many knives like this I've done. I've probably done, I don't know, maybe 100 knives like this. And so I know that it just takes a while. But once you get the burr, then you're halfway there. And I put my finger here because I don't want it to mess up that tip. It's amazing how hard that steel is. I mean, this is a hard steel. I'm using diamond stones on a TS Prof, and I mean, it's grinding away material, but VG10 is good stuff. Seriously, like if you ever want a good knife, buy it in VG10. It's definitely good. Now I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not, but I got a wire edge all the way to like there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it back over, and I'm gonna spend a little bit more time in this area. I'm just gonna go kind of slow, and just get that. And then once I get that, I'll flip it over, I'll do the other side, and then I'll switch to the next level. See if I'm making progress. Yeah, I went a little further. Went to like right there. I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know if I can show this or not, but I'll try to get it. I don't know how well that shows up, but you see that tiny bright spot at the edge? That's the wire burr. It's all the way up, all the way there, and then it ending right about there. So I have this little bit more I got to do. So I'm gonna keep going. Just gonna keep doing it until I get that. So bear with me. Yeah, it's going a little, now it's to like right there. So I just got a little, just a tiny bit more. And you see, what's happening is the steel is thicker right here. As you know, this knife tapers. So there's more material, so it's slightly different when you're grinding right here. In fact, a lot of times the edge will be thinner right there versus right there. Anyway. I think that's going to be good on that side. Now I'll do this side, straighten it out, and then we'll go to the next one. And we should be good to go for a little while. I'll see if I can demonstrate this. You see, if you take a microfiber cloth and you have a burr, it'll pick up those little fibers. And so I'll show you. I'll zoom in. I don't know how well. I don't know how well if you can see those green fibers, but those green fibers caught that burr on the other side. And so that's one way you can tell if you have a burr. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's picking up real well, but you'll have to trust me on that. And now we can finally go to 220. So we're 15 minutes in it took to get that edge correct. Now I'm putting on the next one, which is 220. This should go a little bit faster. Now it's just refinement. We're literally just refining the edge. Griffin, you're going to have the sharpest knife that you've ever had in your life. I guarantee it. This is sharper than anything that Spyderco can ever give you. And they actually put out sharp knives. I'm not saying that. But this is just a whole nother level. And I should mention to viewers out there, like, I wanted to, there's a few different reasons why you might want a sharp knife. Number one, it looks a lot better once it's mirrored. I really believe that. It looks a lot better. Some people out there will tell you, why would you ever need a knife that's mirrored? That's just crazy. It's going to roll over or whatever. Actually, in about 99% of cases, if you start reading up on knife theory, and you study this stuff, a sharper knife with a mirror finish, a mirror polish, a perfect apex will always outlast the same knife not quite sharpened to an apex, especially on much harder steels, premium steels like this. So what that means in the end is you are always better, at least like 99% of the time, having a much sharper edge and even a mirrored edge. It'll always outlast any other knife that's less sharp. I mean, it's just, the more you think about it, it starts making sense. But some people will say, no, it's just going to roll right away. No, that's not actually what happens. That's just not what happens. It doesn't roll right away. So I truly believe you're better off always having a sharper knife to begin with. And this is by far the sharpest type way that you can get a knife. Most of the people that say that stuff, they're the ones that can't get a knife that sharp. Do you need it? No, you don't need a knife that's that sharp, especially if it's a working knife. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's definitely going to outperform and outlast any other knife. That's like saying, I'm going to give you some razor blades, utility razor blades that are less sharp. I'm going to put two here on the table. One is less sharp and one is more sharp. Which one do you want? 100 guys out of 100 guys are going to take the sharper razor blades to begin with, because it takes some amount of time for that razor blade to dull to get to the point of the other one. It's just, think about that for a second. You're always going to be better with a sharper knife. A sharper knife always cuts better. So having something that's mirrored will definitely cut better than something that's not mirrored. And for some reason, there's a lot of people who are like, oh no, I need a toothy. I need something that's toothy. Toothy cuts better. There's no way, you guys. No way a toothy knife cuts better than a knife that's mirror edged like we're doing here. There's just no way. And you don't have to take my word for it. There's books that have been published on this stuff. One of them is by Dr. Vadam Crookett, I believe, from Australia. Passed away a couple years ago, but he knew. It was called the deburring book, the whole book on deburring a knife. And he proved in that book that you're much better off starting off with a sharper knife to begin with than otherwise. All right, I think we're done with that one. Let's go to the next one, which is 400. Now, I will say I don't put a mirror polish on every single knife because it takes a lot of time. But if you're able to do it and you have some really nice pieces, I think it's worth doing, especially really nice stuff or stuff you really want to be that way. I think it's worth it. achieved a great start. Now we're moving on to 600. You can just hear it. It's getting much smoother. Just glides, literally just glides across. I can't believe how sharp that is. Some of these steels just, they really polish up nice. VG10 is one of those ones that takes a while, but once you get to this spot, man, it really does a good job. We're done with that one. Now we're moving to 1000 grit. The knife is extremely sharp right now. For people that didn't want to put a mirror edge on, you just want to have a sharp knife in your pocket, this would be a place you could stop right now. It's very, 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 very sharp. This is 1000. Let's just see what angle we're at. I'm gonna take the cube here. I'm gonna zero it out. Put the cube on here. .3. So we're within 0.1 from where we started. That's pretty good. Alright, we are done with that. That means we're done with all the diamond stones. Now we're going to move on to the lapping films. This is where it really gets fun, guys, because you get the mirror edge now. So we know that we were at 17.3, so I got to calibrate this because these stones are slightly thicker. They have a glass plating and they are just a little bit thicker, and I will prove that to you in just a second. So we need to go up a little. Let's say 17.3. There we go. Perfect. All right. This is where you got to be careful. You're supposed to use downstrokes only. We'll do, this is 5 micron. I got a little water on there. I'm going to go real easy up and down, and then I'll see what I think. I think that looks dang good. I'm going to get a different one of these. We'll do the other side. Do that one more time, I think. Both sides. Real gently, kind of. Done with that one. Let's move on to 3 micron. We will wipe the knife. Flip it. A little more water. We're good on that one. Now we're going to go to the finale, which in this scenario is going to be, it's going to be 0.5, and I'm going to do pull strokes because for some reason this one does seem to, it's a little bit, it's the finest that I have in these lapping films. And if I go up and down, it could cause everything to mess up. So in this case, we will go like this. Okay, I do believe that is it. Get this out of there and then I'll clean it up. And then I'll show you guys how sharp this is. Man, I had to put it in there tight, so bear with me. This is it's one of those hard ones. All right. See if I'm running out of hair. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll clean that up. I'll clean that up, don't worry, Griffin. Very sharp knife, you guys. Like extremely sharp. Hang on one second. We'll do some more tests here. I don't have my catalog nearby me, but I do got one of these things. I'm reluctant to do these because on camera like this, because like they're very hard. Like these are very hard to cut. I don't know if anybody's ever tried, but this is just a toilet paper cardboard thing, but it's very thin. Like if I show you, like this is the dull side. If you go on it, it just knocks it down. Most knives, it'll just knock it down like that. Very few knives can actually cut right through one of these. But I'm reluctant to do it because it's very hard to do. So let's see how sharp Griffin's knife is. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Griffin, are you ready? All right, here we go. Again, it's super, super hard to do that. I can't tell you or explain to you how difficult it is to cut through one of those things. Griffin, I think that's a success. I think we got it to much, much sharper than it ever was. So I hope you're very happy with this. And to all the others out there, if you're looking to have a knife sharpened, if you got a really good knife and you want to get it sharpened, shoot me an email, send me some pictures, and I will let you know if I'm able to do it. I can't do every knife just because some knives don't work well with this way of sharpening, but shoot me an email anyway, and we'll see if I can get it featured on the channel. And again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. And for all those folks out there that are looking for a Delica, this is Delica 4. This is a wonderful knife. I'm going to put links in the description where you can buy one of these on Amazon. They are an awesome knife. I actually have one of these myself. I also like the Endura 4, but this is a little bit smaller version. It's a wonderful knife. You really can't go wrong with one of these. And now it's immaculately sharp. So thanks guys for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we will talk with you later. Bye-bye.